So hey guys, here's part 3 for what if Goku was a reincarnation of Whis. So we see Goku training with King Kai and gaining access to his angelic staff. So first King Kai decides to teach Goku the Kaioken, and Goku learns this in record time. In the span of 3 days, he manages to master this technique, being able to take it up to Kaioken times 3 at this point, as that's as much as he logically thinks he would ever need. As now King Kai decides to teach him the spirit bomb also, and the importance of making sure to make allies in order to make the spirit bomb stronger than before. As now Goku decides to explain his problem to King Kai, explaining to him that there's no worthy enemies to fight, and at this point he's getting bored and he's not sure if he'll ever get to test his full power against anyone. So what's the point in learning new techniques? And King Kai thinks that if he does not give Goku a worthy enemy, Goku will quickly become spoiled and will fail to understand the key lesson that there is always a stronger foe than you, so you have to keep training. So King Kai searches far and wide throughout the galaxy for someone he thinks would be a worthy training partner / foe for Goku at his current age and point in training. As he then looks through different Saiyans that are currently alive, and one intrigues him, as he realizes that if Goku was this powerful, surely there must be some other Saiyans that are above average in abilities. As he then finds this isolated planet called Planet Vampa, as he then finds a Saiyan child living with an old man there, as he uses his telekinesis to communicate with the old man, who is of course Paragus, as he then says, "Yo, how would you like to leave this planet?" As Paragus is like, "Who is talking to me? And what do you want? I must be going insane after all my years here." As King Kai then explains, "I am one of the Kais of this universe, and I have a very strong child here that needs a training partner, and I sense potential in your boy. How about I bring both of you here, and in return, your son will become a training partner for my boy here." To which Paragus, who just wants a way out of this damn planet, just says, yeah, sure. As soon as you can let me out, let me out. As King Kai tells Goku to test out one of the abilities of his staff, as he tells Goku to visualize a planet called Planet Vampa. As King Kai shows Goku what Planet Vampa looks like, and then he tells Goku, "Now, order your staff to take you there." As Goku thinks and orders his staff to take him to Planet Vampa, as he then jets off with King Kai towards this Planet Vampa. King Kai was surprised that this actually worked, as he's not used to this speed, as Kais can just use instant transmission. So this was a bit weird for him, and it felt like a roller coaster ride. So after a few hours, they then reach Planet Vampa, causing a large crash on the planet. Both Paragus and Broly fly to where this crash site is, and they see that King Kai wasn't actually a figment of Paragus's imagination, but was actually real, as they then tell the two Saiyans to hop on, as they both fly back to King Kai's planet. So now, Goku then says, "King Kai, are you sure this boy can fight me? He doesn't even seem to know how to speak." Which offends Paragus and says, "I'll have you know that the only reason this boy was ever exiled from planet Vegeta is because he had the power to overthrow the whole of the society." As Paragus then says, "He grows at an unprecedented rate and is actually even stronger than me. If it wasn't for this collar, there would be no stopping him." As Goku then says, "First of all," as he launches a blast at the collar, breaking it, "we won't need that here. Second of all, this boy is gonna need education so he can actually communicate effectively. And thirdly, I'm gonna test out this guy's strength, because if he's not as good as you guys say, I don't like liars, So you're better off just going back to planet Vampa. As this scares Paragus. As now, King Kai takes Goku and Broly to an uninhabited planet, as Paragus then tells Broly, fight with the best that you have. As Broly, his eyes then shutter a bright yellow as he screams out in rage, launching at Goku. Goku is actually impressed, as this is actually much stronger than anyone he has ever fought. But due to his Ultra Instinct, he dodges Broly with ease and starts counter-attacking using some of the martial arts he has learned. But what impresses Goku is Broly's power level keeps on increasing, and on top of this, he starts adapting to Goku, as he starts going punch for punch with Goku and matching his martial arts, which Goku finds very impressive. As Goku realizes that if it wasn't for his Ultra Instincts, this might actually be a fair battle. As time starts passing, and eventually Broly keeps getting angrier and angrier, and King Kai gets an idea, as he has heard about Saiyans when they get in extreme rage having the ability to unlock the Super Saiyan, and he decides to test this out, as he tells Goku to throw some insults at Broly, saying that if he loses, he'll destroy Paragus and even destroy the whole of planet Vampa. As Goku then starts saying these threats, threatening Broly, and this just pushes Broly over the edge. As King Kai then says to Paragus, if you really want to sell it, I want you to play dead, act like you've died right at the feet of Goku. As Paragus agrees, since he wants to see how strong that Broly would get. As King Kai then teleports a Paragus who's lying on the floor with his clothes battered on the ground, and then says, look Broly, look what Goku did to Paragus, your dad. As Broly then gets pushed over the edge as he shouts out in rage, unlocking his Super Saiyan form. The planet rumbles at his power, as Goku then sees that this is a worthy contender. As now, Broly launches a punch at Goku. Goku thought he would effortlessly dodge, but what surprises him is his punch actually lands, and Goku gets hit for the first time in his life. His Saiyan instincts are elated with joy, as he then shouts out to Broly, that's how it's done. Keep going. I want to see which one is stronger. As Goku and Broly start launching punch for punch at each other, using their full abilities. Goku trying to utilize his Ultra Instinct and actually starting to get more refined in its use, since it's actually being tested. Broly actually landing half of the hits he launches at Goku, and eventually both of them are feeling the weight of each other's punches. Broly's ability to keep getting stronger keeps amazing Goku, as Broly keeps hitting harder and harder, and even getting used to Goku's Ultra Instinct and planning hits that counteract these capabilities. As eventually this fight ends with Goku launching a Kamehameha wave and Broly launching a mouth blast, as they have a key struggle, as both of them trying to see which one is stronger puts their all into these blasts, as the whole planet gets covered in the energy of these two warriors, as the planet splits in half and eventually blows up. As we come back to see what has actually happened, we see King Kai holding both Goku and Broly on each of his arms, seeing both of the children sleeping. Okay, more like teenagers sleeping, as they're both exhausted from their fight. Goku's hair actually drops from white to black due to him exhausting all his energy. And on top of this, Broly is fast asleep, as Paragus chuckles to himself, actually very proud of his son, seeing that he's the first Super Saiyan in thousands of years. As King Kai says, they talk a big game, but at the end of the day, they are still growing, aren't they? As Paragus chuckles and then says, yeah, I agree. You know what? I think this is a very good idea, as I think Goku will be able to calm Broly down, and I should actually start treating him more of a father instead of more as a weapon, as I was scared what would happen if I could ever lose control of him. As now they basically go back to King Kai's planet, and Goku and Broly wake up. Broly's annoyed at Goku, but as soon as he sees that Paragus is actually alive, he understands what happened, and is actually thankful that they just wanted to see how strong he could get. As he too was impressed at his own strength, and sees that he has a lot of power that he needs to control. So Goku and Broly then run up to King Kai shouting, "Who won? Who won? Who was stronger?" As King Kai says, "Unfortunately, both of you guys run out of energy at the same time, making this one a tie. So Goku, you wanted a worthy contender, and I, as the great King Kai, managed to find you one." As Goku says, "Yeah, big whoop. I didn't use my Kaioken. I would have obviously won if I did." As Broly then says, "Yeah, well, I just keep getting stronger. I would have matched that too." As now a sort of sibling rivalry starts blossoming between the two boys, and then basically now they just spend their time with King Kai, learning and training and refining their skills to become even better and better. However, what Goku and King Kai failed to account for is the shockwaves that this battle left on this universe. As first of all, Frieza, sensing the power of Broly, was surprised as basically the Frieza force could detect that there was a power that seemed to even overpower Frieza's somewhere in the galaxy. As Broly's power, even though millions of miles away, managed to break tens of thousands of scouters, scaring Frieza and King Cold, notifying them that they need to train, as there might be a foe that they cannot beat that has just arisen in the universe. And on top of this, we now have to cut back to planet Earth to see what King Piccolo has been doing. As Piccolo managed to defeat the Z fighters that were currently there, and managed to gain access to the Dragon Balls, as he then summons Shenron. And first of all, Demon King Piccolo then says, "Shenron, there's a question, act as a wish." To which Shenron says, "No, you may ask me whatever you please, and then use that information to create a wish. Especially since you are technically part of my creator. I will give you that privilege." As Piccolo then asks, "This boy named Goku, what is the gap between me and this boy?" As Shenron then says, "You see the difference between a speck of dirt and the sun? If you see that difference in size and you made that power levels, that is a fraction of the difference between you and that boy." As Piccolo is flabbergasted at this revelation, realizing that there is no way that with simple training or wishing for his youth he'll be able to beat this boy. As Piccolo then asks Shenron, "Can I simply wish to be at this boy's power level?" As Shenron then says, it is within my power to do so. However, at my current strength, you will have a drawback, of which you can only live for 1 year, since it will take great sacrifice to turn your measly power level into one comparable to his. To which Piccolo then says, "Well, that's not a smart decision, is it? Well, good thing I came up with a scheme that would allow me to defeat any fighter if the time required it." As he then looks at Shenron and then says, "Shenron, I wish for the ability to make my own Dragon Balls and for the maximum knowledge on how to fully utilize them." As Shenron then says, "It is done," as his eyes shatter a red as he goes back into his Dragon Balls and scatters throughout the planet. Piccolo, proud of himself, then flies straight on to Kami's lookout and beats up Kami, then forcefully absorbs him, bringing his power to that of, I would say, Saiyan Saga Vegeta. As of course, he's not gonna be Super Saiyan level, since that Kami fused with a much stronger version of Piccolo. So now, due to this fusion, this means that Piccolo now has a stronger power level than before, and everyone knows that the Dragon Balls become stronger as the creator becomes stronger. As now, Piccolo then creates his own Dragon Balls and summons his own version of Shenron. As now, due to the fact that Kami has been absorbed, his Dragon Balls have become inactive. As now, he summons his own Shenron, as he then says, Shenron, how many wishes do I have? As Shenron then says, my master Piccolo, you have 3 wishes to make due to your increased power. As Piccolo then says, well, my first wish is for eternal youth. As Piccolo then gets transformed into his youthful state. As then he says, my second wish is for immortality. As Shenron then says, due to the fact that you have wished for immortality, you can no longer be killed by any means, by any normal means. Is that what you intend for? As Piccolo then says, yes. As he then gets granted his wish of immortality. As next, Piccolo then says, alright, now I assume my lifespan will not be shortened by my next wish, as Shenron already knows what he's gonna wish for. As then, Shenron then says, no, it will not affect your lifespan due to your immortality. As then, Piccolo then says, I wish for the power to match the current strongest mortal in the universe. As Shenron then smiles and says, it is done. As we see Piccolo going through a transformation, bulking up and gaining markings on his body. As now he then shouts, I dub myself Demon Lord Piccolo. As now he spawns children much stronger than before and starts to take over planet Earth and begins on his conquest throughout the universe. So that's where I'll be leaving this part for now, and if you guys liked it, like and subscribe and let me know. I'll post the next part as soon as possible. Thanks guys, and have a good day.